Hang on, give you a route back. Okay, I appreciate it.
Just thinking what sat in the seat, like, ugh.
Hey,
No, it's fine.
I'm going to use a second recorder just as a backup. Because I've been here enough times when I've tried to record stuff. And
Doesn't always work.
yeah.
Technology doesn't work always when you want it to.
No, unfortunately not. Especially these things. What's today?
It is now the 15th.
You got the time?
Yes, it is 2:11.
This is Investigator Warren. Today's date is 1/15/2018. Time is 2:11 a.m. We are here at the Tallahassee Police Department. Emergency TV case number 18-1537. I'm here with Wayne Stats. Wayne, can you say your first and last name for me?
Sure, first name is Wayne, last name is Stats.
And your date of birth, sir?
It's 8/29/86.
Okay. You can come in.
Jerry.
Oh, you need it? All right, give me just a second, buddy.
No problem.
Thanks for waiting, man.
Hey, brother.
Alright. Before you get going, one of the first things I'm going to do is read oath of perjury warning to you, which I know you're familiar with, but...
When you say that, it's like, I know you're...
Well, I mean, as a cop, obviously not.
I know.
Sat here before. I'm Investigator Warren with the Tallahassee Police Department, conducting an official criminal investigation. Any false statements about material matters given by witness under oath that constitute perjury, which is a first-degree misdemeanor according to Section 837.012 of the Florida statutes. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the evidence you present to me to be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
You further understand that if you knowingly make material misstatement of fact, if you lie to me on purpose, you've committed the crime of perjury?
Yes.
Okay. Sign under witness.
Yes, sir. You date and time it?
Yeah, this one.
Happy MLK Day.
So what?
No, it is MLK Day.
Were you supposed to wear the parade or anything?
No.
I'll say we can probably
Not
get that.
not that I'm aware of, at least. If I did, yes.
I don't think anybody was drafted this year, so.
I know I saw the emails come out, asking for people to help. I didn't never see a draft come out.
I didn't either.
I'm hoping not.
I'm hoping I don't have to worry about it.
I don't even remember them sending the request email out.
Like 2 or 3 of them went out.
Oh, well.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I just got back from vacation, so.
Delete. Get caught up. So, help me out, Wayne. How did you guys? What happened? Starting from how you guys got to where you were.
We all went out hog hunting tonight.
Okay.
We're coming back from hog hunting.
Okay, when you say y'all, who went with you?
Brian, myself, Brian Reeder, and Keith Campbell.
Okay, so 3 of you guys went hog hunting.
Brian Reeder was driving. Keith Campbell was in the front passenger seat. I was in the rear passenger side seat.
Okay.
As we were driving back into his neighborhood, I heard them both say, "What's up with that car?"
Whose
I didn't.
neighborhood?
Into Brian's neighborhood.
Okay.
They were like, "What's up with that car?"
All right. About what time do you think that was? What time did you get any
I
estimation?
can tell you what time I called dispatch, so it's going to be just shortly before that.
That's fine. We'll do that. And about what time did you guys decide to go hunting?
Me and Brian talked about hunting yesterday, and we went. I met up at his house at 8 or 8:30, and then we got out there 8:45, 9ish, and started hunting. I called dispatch at 11:51, so probably 11:50, 11:49, a minute, 2 minutes before all that. I never saw the car initially, and I was like, "What are you guys talking about?" Because I was sitting in the back seat, so I had headrest and keys sitting in front of me, so I couldn't see it.
Okay.
And they're like, "What is that person doing?" And I'm like, "What are y'all talking about?" And then they're both, stop the truck.
Okay.
I look out the passenger window, and I see a white SUV, no headlights on, but just like the parking, running lights on.
Right.
I get out, they start getting out the car, I get out the car to try to figure out what's going on. I'm like, is 21 in progress? Like, this is what I'm figuring, because I know Summer Brooks had a lot of issues with burglaries.
Right. Now that's what you're thinking in your
That's
head.
my head.
Is
Like,
a
burglary in progress, especially the car's looking, and I see an individual coming from a dark-colored Dodge truck. I don't know what color it was.
Okay. Hold on real quick. Just so positionally, when you get out, you see light-colored SUV and dark-colored Dodge truck. Where exactly are they?
We are facing southbound on, what is it, Summer Meadow? Or Preservation. We're southbound on Preservation, right at whatever that one road is right there. I don't remember the exact name of it. Wherever the intersection I called it out at.
Okay.
The car is facing the passenger side of Brian's truck.
Which one? The white one?
The suspect vehicle is on the passenger side of Brian's truck. The Dodge truck is in the Dodge truck is in the driveway of the house right there.
Okay.
The truck is the front of the truck is facing southbound as well. The back of the truck is basically facing the SUV. The SUV was stopped right in front of the driveway.
Okay.
So if this is the driveway, Brian's truck is right here. The SUV was right here.
Gotcha.
So they get out. Keith starts walking here. Brian walks around. I believe the back of the truck, maybe the front of the truck. I don't remember. I'm standing on the running boards of the truck, still trying to piece it all together. There's a individual standing at the back, like tire, walking from the base of the truck over to the car.
Okay.
And I start hearing them going, "What are you doing? Stop, stop, stop!" And they get into the car, and I immediately yell, "Please stop!"
Okay.
I never drew a weapon or anything like that. The car speeds up, hits Keith. Keith hits the suspect's vehicle, or the vehicle hits Keith, I should say.
Okay, real quick. Where exactly is Keith at positionally?
Initially, about the time they started driving at him, he was standing in front, basically dead smack in front of the car. I don't know how much distance was between him.
So he doesn't have a lot of room. I mean,
no.
he's in front
as soon as the car starts moving at him, he starts backpedaling to try to get out of the way. The car's turning, and it hits him around the passenger side front light. He goes up onto the hood, rolls along the hood, and hits the windshield, and then falls off the car.
Okay.
So if this is, we'll just say this is Brian's truck for sake of ease. I'm standing here, Keith is right here, Brian is about right here, and basically as this car's making the turn, they both start firing at the car. I don't have a clear shot, never drew, didn't have the ability to. With Keith, that's back in front of me because I'm standing right here, and Brian right here.
Okay.
And then as soon as that happened, I checked on both of them. I said, "You okay? You okay?" "Yep, we're okay." "Keith, you sure you're okay?" "Car hit you?" "Yeah, I'm good." "Okay, let's call this in."
Okay.
And I got on the phone and I called.
Okay. Let's backtrack again real quick. Okay. So you estimate all this happened, you said, in about 2 minutes or so, approximately?
2 to 3 minutes tops.
Okay. So you're sitting in the back seat of the ride, you're pulling in the neighborhood, car slows down, and you hear Keith and Brian say, hey, something to the effect of, "Hey, what's going on? What are those guys doing?"
Mm-hmm.
They come to a stop, and then from there, they get out of the car, and there's one subject.
I only see one subject standing at that the dark Dodge truck, which I was assuming because of the area and everything, that was the one that was probably getting broken into, leaving the side of that vehicle going towards the suspect vehicle.
Right. Tell me the factors that made you think that this guy's breaking into it. From what you saw, I know obviously you're in the back seat. What you saw is going to be different than Brian and Keith being up front, because your vantage point is going to be a little different. But
knowing the area, there's always burglaries going on in the area. The vehicle, the way it was parked in the road, driving like the parking driving lights, whatever you want to call them, on, but no headlights on, just kind of idling right there. No other cars were in the neighborhood. That's why when we were driving, they're like, "Look, what's the car doing?" I'm looking around, going, "I don't see any cars at all."
And it's 2 a.m.
Yeah, or midnight at that time. Summerbrook, not really a whole lot of people, doing anything at Summerbrook. And then as soon as we get out of the car, they basically the person beelines it from that car into another. And I'm like, oh, this has got to be a first.
Okay, so you saw him. He's actually running. He's
not running, but he's moving quickly towards the car. And I couldn't tell you what he looked like, white, black. I didn't get it. It was just because it was dark over there. It happened so quick. And Keith was actually closer to the suspect than I was.
Right.
I didn't get a chance at any of that. It was just, all bits and pieces trying to put it together quick enough. And that's why I was like, it's got to be a burglary in progress, because I know there's cars constantly getting broken into in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, it's got to be a burglary in progress. So that's my assumption on that.
Okay. I know you said you heard Keith and Brian tell the guy to stop. What exactly do you remember hearing them say?
I just remember them saying something to the effect of "stop" or "what are you doing? Don't leave" or something like that.
Okay.
Because I was assuming that they were talking to the people in the car or the suspect that was outside the car getting into the car.
Okay, because you're still on the side of the car.
Standing on the running board of Brian's truck still. And about that time, when they're telling him to stop, I step off the running board onto basically the pavement.
Right. Now, when they're telling him to stop, are you able to still see the subject?
No, he's already in the car by then.
Okay, at that point, he's already back in the car and in the driver's side.
No, in the passenger side. There was apparently there was someone already in the driver. I never saw anybody get into the driver's side. My assumption is that someone was already in the driver's seat of that vehicle.
Okay, so he comes in, he gets into the passenger side of the vehicle, and then just by the mere fact that the car is then operational, there had to be a driver. You didn't actually see the driver.
I never saw the driver.
And then you said, you yourself, when you got out, you said, stop, identify your stop police.
Well, when they got in the vehicle and the vehicle started moving, I'm yelling, "Stop, police."
Okay.
Because I figured that I didn't know if Keith had his badge out or on him or visible.
Sure.
But my assumption is we're getting out of the car, believe it's a burglary in progress, we're taking police action here. So that's why I was identifying myself, because I was like, I don't know where this is about to head. And unfortunately headed southbound.
Right, yeah. And when you said stop police, I'm sure, did you shout that at those guys? What level of, how loud were you so that they could hear you?
I was yelling at them.
Okay. Did you say it once, more than once, or something?
I just said at least once.
Okay. So, and then what happens? So you're there, you get off the running board of the car, you address them, you say, "Stop, police," they're in the car is now moving. All right, what happens from that point? Where exactly are you situated?
I've never moved from basically that door, the passenger side rear door of the truck.
Okay, so you're still there. Where exactly is Keith at this point?
So this is Brian's truck. Suspect vehicle is about here.
Right.
Distance-wise, definitely not to scale. I'm here. Keith is right about here, and Brian is somewhere over here. And then the vehicle starts moving, basically go northbound on Preservation. Keith starts backpedaling to try to get out of the way, and then that's when he gets hit by the front of the vehicle, passenger side.
Okay, so he's actually making efforts to retreat.
He's either backpedaling or sidestepping, but trying to get out of the way from what it looked like to me.
Okay, and there just was no room for him to move because his vehicle was right in front of his vehicle.
Yeah, he's 3 to 5 feet in front of the vehicle when the vehicle started driving at him.
All right, and where is Brian at this point? Do you remember?
Somewhere over here. That was not my focus, because when I saw the car coming at Keith,
sure is.
I was like, in my head, I'm going, oh shit, this car's about to kill Keith.
Yeah. How fast was the guy going? He was accelerating, you said?
Mm-hmm. Tires were squealing. I couldn't tell you speed.
Okay, so he was punching it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you said you actually saw the vehicle hit Keith. Mm-hmm. What part of the vehicle hit what part of Keith?
Somewhere from the center of the bumper to the passenger side headlight. Somewhere in that region.
All right. And then I believe you said, and correct me if I'm wrong, you actually saw Keith go over the front of the hood of that vehicle.
Basically goes up onto the hood, and it looked like he hit the windshield and then basically slid sideways off the car as it was turning northbound onto Preservation.
Okay, gotcha. And then what happened as Keith is going over the front of the vehicle, being struck by the vehicle that's accelerating?
He rolls off the car and hits the asphalt.
Okay. All right, and then what does Brian do at that point?
I mean, it's almost instantaneously as that's happening, Brian starts firing at the car.
Okay. So as Keith is getting hit,
Basically, Keith gets hit, rolls off the car, car's turning, still all right there. Brian starts firing, and then Keith started firing.
okay, gotcha. So Keith was able to get back up and then start
He
shooting.
fired from the ground.
Oh, he fired from the ground.
If I'm not mistaken, that's what it appeared to me. Because
Okay.
my recollection is when I was standing outside the car looking at the suspect vehicle, Keith was almost dead smack in front of me, and I was like, I don't want to take I'm not going to take a shot with him right in front of me because I didn't know if he was trying to stand up. And Brian was basically right somewhere near here, near his tailgate, and I was like, it's too close quarters. It's not, no.
Yeah, that's probably a good call. So vehicle then pulls out or starts going northbound. I know you said that you are aware that Brian and Keith both fired their weapons. How do you know that? I know that's sort of a silly question, but I mean, you see a muzzle flash, you heard it.
Both. I'll say I saw the muzzle flash of their weapons. I heard the bangs of the guns.
Okay.
And I saw the back glass shatter on the SUV.
Okay. So the back of the SUV, the glass saw it be shattered from where, presumably, where one of those rounds hit it.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. So vehicle's now fleeing northbound. What's the very next thing that happens?
Once I made sure that both the officers were okay, they weren't hurt, I was like, all right, we're calling it in. So I went ahead and called dispatch and said, hey, Officer Ball shooting, no officers are hurt. One was hit by a car, and I started giving out the information. And then in the rush of trying to get it out on the radio, I didn't even give a suspect description, or vehicle description, I should say. Basically, I was like, go ahead and get officers rolling this way so we can lock this down. Let the sergeant know, watch commander know. And they're like, I'm like, all right, you need anything else? They're like, no, okay. And they hang up on me. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, it's like a minute or 2 minutes later, I'm like, oh, crap.
Your description.
I'm like, hey, I probably should have done what I told you earlier. I probably should have given you a suspect vehicle description. And I called them and gave them the description. Well, they transferred me to Northeast to give the suspect description because apparently I called the non-emergency number. When I called dispatch, I literally just typed in CDA on my phone.
Right.
It was the first number I called, which was apparently a non-emergency number, which is not what I was supposed to call from what they made it sound. I don't know. They told me I should have called Northeast, but we can't call Northeast directly. We have to call and get
I don't
transferred.
think so.
It was all jacked up. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, given the fact that as told that you weren't expecting to encounter burglary suspects, your buddy just gets hit by a car. I think we'll forgive that one.
Yeah, I was just like, oh crap. Hey, might be. Here's a suspect vehicle description.
So it was after the shots were fired. Well, let's go back to that. Do you remember how many shots you heard?
I don't remember. All I know is that right after that, basically Brian downed his weapon in the car. He's like, hey, I'm going to put my weapon in the car. I ran out of ammo, it's locked back. I said, okay.
Okay.
And Keith may have fired 2-3 rounds. I don't really know. I know it was a couple, that's all.
Okay. So Brian's gun goes to empty or to lockback. I'm assuming it went to empty.
That's my assumption.
Okay.
I didn't.
All right, but he said, did he say that or did you see it locked back?
That's what he said. I
Okay.
didn't see that.
And then he puts it back into...
He said he put it on his driver's seat.
Okay. And then Keith, you said you think he fired...
2-3 rounds, somewhere in there.
Okay.
I don't know exactly how many.
All right, and then what did he do with his firearm after that?
I was on the phone with dispatch by then.
Okay, gotcha. So, did you guys have to go over and help Keith up off of the ground after that?
Basically right after they both fired, he got up off the ground.
Right.
But I know a lot of times in the heat of the moment or the stress of the situation, adrenaline kicks in, and you may actually be hurt but not realize it yet. That's why I was like, hey, stop. You good? You're not hurt? Okay. That was my biggest concern at the moment, is make sure that no one was hurt. And then once that happened, I'm like, all right, start getting information.
Sure. Which, I understand he did go to the hospital to go get checked out afterwards.
Yeah, I believe Major Outlaw had him go to check and make sure he wasn't hurt, to be on the safe side.
Gotcha. So going back to the shooting itself, it sounds like it's very clear to you there is nowhere at all for Keith to have gone.
Oh, God, no.
I mean, it happened extremely quick, as you're saying. From the time you guys saw the car, the time you called in, you estimated 2 minutes this whole thing's going down. So 2 minutes to make contact with the subjects, Keith getting hit with the car, the shooting, and the car fleeing.
Right, left, back, there was nowhere he got, at least from standing right there, was nowhere he could have gone to keep getting hit by the car.
And then obviously, if he got hit by a car, I mean, it's accelerating. It could have pinned him between the other vehicle. He could have died. We're lucky that he's...
yeah, initially that's what my first thought was when the car hit him, because I knew how close Brian's truck was to the suspect vehicle. My initial thought was that he's going to hit Keith and sandwich him between the two vehicles.
As you're describing this, sort of the picture I got in my head, how far away would you say the two vehicles were from each other, if you had to estimate?
10 feet, maybe. And like I said, it happened fast, and it was just one of those trying to piece it all together, so I was like,
Yeah, and that's not a lot of distance for a vehicle to cover,
no.
especially as it's accelerating. So the vehicle, I'm just running all this back through my head. The coffee's starting to kick in. So,
If it would help you, if you got a piece of paper, I can kind of give you a quick sketch.
yeah,
I'm like,
if you're good at drawing,
I'm not great at drawing, but
absolutely.
at least so you can get a kind of idea and understanding.
I have it in my head, but it'll help me so I'm not gonna draw it back all later on. All right.
I can stick figure the heck out of this, don't worry.
Yeah.
So we'll say, we'll try to do the best we can. It's north. We'll say preservations, and this is, I guess I can't remember the name of that road. All right, so the driveway to the house is right here
Okay.
with, for sake of ease, we'll call it the victim's vehicle, the
Okay.
Dodge truck, suspect vehicle, somewhere right about here. And then we'll say Brian's truck. Kind of about, give or take, like I said, not,
Right.
not definitely not scale, but somewhere like that. And
I'm not gonna judge you for your artistic ability.
yeah. So victim's vehicle here, I was in this seat here, Keith here, Brian's here. Keith gets out, goes somewhere up in this region, I get out and basically just step right off the bumper right there, or right off the bumper, sorry,
Okay.
step bar. And then it flees and goes basically northbound on preservations towards Bannerman.
Gotcha. Where, on your diagram, I understand, but where exactly did the car strike Keith at, would you say?
Somewhere basically right about there.
Okay. And it's turning to go northbound.
Basically it's
turning
turning
and
to
accelerating.
northbound. And yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No,
You're looking at it upside down, I realize that that's...
I'm with you. So, I mean, yeah,
Okay, let's do this.
it very easily could have got sandwiched in there.
The vehicle's faced that way, that vehicle's faced that way, and that vehicle's faced that way. Really crude drawing, but to get a little bit of understanding.
No, that's great. At any point, did the homeowner of the residence or anybody come out or make contact with you guys from this?
Not any of us. I think eventually one of the officers on scene ended up making contact.
Sure.
There was no one outside, and there was no other cars on the road. I think this homeowner ended up coming out 10, 15 minutes after the incident happened. No one came out even initially afterwards.
Okay. Gotcha. And as you're coming out, again, the gentleman's over by the victim's car. Did you actually see him in the victim's car? See a door open or
I did
anything?
not see him at the victim's car. I saw him basically standing, if this is where the rear wheel of the truck was, on the driver's side, he was standing there walking to the suspect vehicle.
Okay.
When I got out of the truck and saw the individual walking.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's consistent with, I mean, that's like auto burglary 101. I mean, cars sitting there waiting, you know it's happening. That all makes sense. I'm just glad Keith and you guys obviously are okay. Did you talk to Keith or Brian about what happened after this happened?
No, I was on the phone with dispatch. I was giving a suspect vehicle description. I was like, it's a white four-door Jeep Liberty. I'm like, or that size vehicle, smaller. It wasn't like a Grand Cherokee. It wasn't one of the Commander, the really big one. Like, it wasn't one of those.
Sure.
I know there's at least two people in the vehicle because I saw one person get in the passenger
Right.
side. And
Was it older, newer?
Newer-ish model. I know they ended up finding the vehicle
Okay.
over at the Shell station at Bannerman, and basically when you leave the neighborhood and go eastbound, it's that Shell station right there. They found it. I guess right there. FHP found it abandoned.
Okay.
But there's a newer-ish model with Jeep. The model year could be 10, 15, 20 years, and they don't really change the body style very
Yeah.
much. So it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, you're at the Jeep store doing
And they're like, you have a suspect description. I'm like, I didn't see it. I know there's two people, that's it. And I basically yelled at them. I'm like, hey, did any of y'all see it? And Keith's like, 2 black males. Sorry, I have 2 black males.
Okay.
That's the only reason I know that. That's all I got. That.
Gotcha. And they came from Keith?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he was right there.
Yeah.
He unfortunately had a bird's eye view into the car.
Yeah. All right. You did a great job describing this. I appreciate the drawing. Like I said, I'm not going to judge on your artistic talent. Is there anything else that you can think of? Again, I may have more questions for you, but I understand this whole thing happened real quick. But it stands out to you that you think that I need to know that's concerning, or that it's just on your mind? No.
All I can think of.
Okay. All right. Hang tight. You can go check on something real quick. I'm gonna hold on to this. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, Gary's other. Yeah, he's still on.
Yeah, no problem.
I just had one other question. Keith and Brian, from what we understand, had pistols on them.
Mhm.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay. Where is it?
On my hip.
Right now?
Yeah.
You didn't fire a shot at all?
Didn't even draw my weapon.
Okay. And it was that way, well, I mean, are any of the rifles in the back of Reader's car yours?
Yeah, one of them is mine.
One of them's yours? Okay. We're not taking those. They're going to stay there. Just wanted to be sure that you didn't fire any shots or anything before we just cut you loose. I don't think we're going to do a round count or anything on you.
Okay.
You're a witness officer in this, so I think we're good to go. And what you saw going on, you believe to be an auto burglary.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like,
Without a doubt.
knowing the area,
Yeah.
the way that car was parked, no other cars in the area.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. We kind of had to get it from you because obviously,
Yeah.
we can't get it from them right now. So,
Yeah, I understand that.
And would you be able to ID these guys if you saw them again?
No, I
Okay.
couldn't even tell you. All I knew is that there was a guy walking from the back of the truck.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you white, black. I was
Okay.
too far away and it was too dark. Keith and
Any
Reader were
clo-
both closer.
Any clothing?
They were wearing clothing. I just couldn't tell you what kind. Like I said, it was
Okay.
No, I get
Dark, light, anything like that?
dark clothing. Like I said, because it was dark and I couldn't really make out anything.
Okay.
So
All right. Just in the off chance we do catch up with these guys tonight, just want to know if you could ID them.
yeah, unfortunately, no.
Okay. Anything about the truck itself or car itself? Was it a car or truck?
It was a Jeep 4-door white color.
Okay.
Like I said, I believe it was a Liberty. They ended up finding the vehicle
Okay.
at the Shell station right there, Bannerman, and I don't know. Like I said, I don't remember what the cross street
Okay.
was. Basically, when you go out of the neighborhood, make a right on the Bannerman. It's the first light you come to right there, right by the fire station, right across the street from it.
Have you done a show up on the car? Okay. Do you, if you saw the car, would you be able to ID it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean, white, literally without missing a back windshield. pretty distinctive.
Any other stickers or anything about it?
Nah, I could.
Okay. All right. I guess we can probably show you pictures of it later if we need to. But yeah, I think we do have it. I think it's pretty clear it was involved. So.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, whatever you need to do. You need a ride.
I think Humphrey said he's going to hang out and give me a ride back.
Cool. Very cool. All right.
Am I able to get my rifle out of the truck, or do I need to leave it there for right now?
We're leaving it in Brian's truck.
Okay. What about, because I also have I have a backpack in the back of the truck.
All we did was take Brian's gun out of the
Okay, so anything in there I can go ahead.
The one he used.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is my stuff that I have in the bed of his truck, can I go ahead and get that when I get back there?
Sure.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah. I'll talk to you out here.
Okay.
That ending interview.
Thanks, Wayne. No problem.
Brian and Keith are both headed back there now.
Okay.
So I guess we're going to grab the truck back. As soon as we're done processing whatever they need to process. Rifles in cases they weren't used.
Yeah, no, we're more worried about have a backpack in the back of the truck with gloves and stuff like that.
Right. No, we're not.
Stuff like this in the truck.
We're not.
The only pistol you guys didn't really
I mean, I didn't own one, so I had.
Right, but I mean, that's the only pistol.
There's all this background, like this case of everything going out of those.
Yeah.
I one has a pistol.
Yeah.
Out there, where he goes, just south, basically just inside Fort Worth. Right. Good camera, yeah. No, it's not a Tulsa Merge.
Oh, okay.
It's for land. Yeah, like, 300 acres out there, it's basically just south, 5 minutes inside. Florida. I think it's the first part of South Florida.
Okay, I know
If I'm
exactly.
not mistaken. But like I said, I'm not real familiar with it.
Jerry's keeping notes.
No, my in-laws are up there. I mean, down there, we got a bunch of all that.
He's on-
That's in Leon?
Jeez, wow.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Oh, it's gonna go.
Yeah, that's the way to go for the $4 grand. For the $250,000 house.
It's all right there, I mean, that's all that, I mean, a bunch of other big properties.
They got a property is back right at the top end. The reason all the hogs stay with the swamp salt timber, they go over and they tear up all the property and he plants hay and basically bales it and sells it. There's Henry, he got there and they were say 150 to 4 hogs. He ended up with, he said, no, we figured it. I said, all right, so we go out there and we swap. I used to, I like that one.
Well, this didn't happen there.
No, I know, but they were coming back from that.
Right.
Like, I'm ready to shoot the show, but you never go again. Okay, I'm gonna go.
Probably not, that'll be short.
Okay, go ahead, man. Cool.
Yeah,
Go get your stuff.
Okay, cool. Thanks so much, guys.
Yep.
Y'all take it easy now.